Welcome to Legends Field, better known as the Snake Pit here in Mount Carmel, Illinois, as the Jasper Wildcats tonight hit the road against the Mount Carmel Golden Aces in a Big 8 competition where both these teams come in undefeated. And pretty well, looking at this football game, you're looking at two teams that whoever comes out on top tonight is pretty well in the driver's seat to win the Big 8 championship for 2013. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider along with Mike Blessinger. You're watching Wildcat football on 18 WJTS. And Jeremy Markle's bringing you the video. And Bless, coming into this football game, you got two football teams that are pretty well riding high right now. Both of them ranked very high in their respective classes. The Wildcats ranked number 2 in 4A in Indiana, and then you've got Mount Carmel, who's ranked number 5 in Class 3A of Illinois. So coming into this game, I mean, you basically got two teams that are just really looking to, move on with their seasons and accomplish some really great things. And this is a big game tonight for both of them.
Yeah, and we've just passed the midway point of the season, and so the teams are, pretty much got it understood as to what they're doing, what the coaches expect of them. The lineups are pretty much set, and everybody's roles are set. So, it's going to be some good competition. Both really great programs where their coach is going for a school record 113th win tonight. And as we know, Coach Aaron's getting his 100th win last week in his 11th year. So look for a good, hard-fought game tonight where both teams are definitely going to compete, and they're looking for conference championship tonight right here.
Well, you look at the Mount Carmel Golden Aces, and offensively, they're going to run a spread offense, and their quarterback's a really good one. His name is Reese Metcalf. He's 6'4". He's a left-hander, and he's thrown for over 900 yards and 15 touchdowns in just 5 games so far. And last week against Washington, he threw 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers, so he's not afraid to spread the football around.
Yeah, and he's his key target, really good football player. Levi Laws, number 38. They list him as a wide receiver. He sort of plays the slot position. They're going to work real hard to get him the ball, but there's no question they've got a lot of athletes, just like Jasper does, a lot of options to go to, and I'm sure they're going to try and use them all to keep the Jasper defense off balance.
And that's the thing with Levi Laws. I mean, he's one of the players that actually, I think they only have a couple players that actually go both ways, so you'll see him in a safety spot in addition to that slot spot. But, last week he just had a career game against Washington with 3 touchdowns, 47-yard touchdown reception. He went 70 yards on a punt return, and then also took a handoff 73 yards for a touchdown. So, he's just one of those weapons. But then also, he's been able to spread it out to 4 different receivers out there as well.
And he runs it pretty well also. Not afraid to keep it and tuck it under and get some yards for himself.
Yeah, and actually in the Princeton game, you kind of look at as far as that's really the only common opponent so far for the Wildcats this year. They beat Princeton 47-35, but that was a game that was tied 35-35 in the fourth quarter. But right after Princeton had tied that football game on, Devin Tomlinson ran back the ensuing kickoff 88 yards for a touchdown to kind of take control there in the fourth quarter. And then the running back Sean Flickinger, he's a very good back who rushed for 125 yards and 12 carries in that game, and then he had a 41-yard game clincher as well.
Yeah, he looks like a load. He's about 5'9", 210, similar stats to our fullback Ian Songer. And I think a real key in that leading into this game is what the Golden Aces want to try and do is prevent turnovers. Those games that, they've won all of them, but the ones that were close against opponents that maybe aren't the caliber of Jasper, they really kept them close or kept other teams in it with turnovers, and I'm sure that's what they're going to try and avoid tonight.
There's no doubt about that. And, and the Wildcats coming in 6-0, and they are led by their quarterback Nolan Aarons, who is 78 of 113 passing for 1,133 yards and 12 touchdowns, and he's only thrown 3 interceptions, so he's just had a great start to this season.
Yeah, really a record-setting potentially start for Nolan. He's just been so accurate. Really just doesn't miss much whenever it's there, and he's so smart. We don't talk much about it during on-air things, but he switches plays an awful lot at the line of scrimmage when he sees things, and just a good football IQ, and he's been able to execute.
And that's the thing we were talking about before the telecast here, as far as we can't remember, Bless, a Jasper football team that's been so well balanced, where we got over 1,100 yards passing to go along with over 1,300 yards rushing. So it's just a great balanced attack for the Wildcats, and a great test tonight as we're set for action here. The ball's kicked off. It looks like it's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. So,
not the way they draw up the touchback, but it's going to work nonetheless. Good job by the Cats. Cats on defense, they're going to try and contain the read option run, and I think coach is looking at trying to run a little more man-to-man with those 4 receivers and count on the defensive line to put pressure and then the linebackers to contain everything else. So let's see how our defensive line can work against our offensive line. That's going to be a key. Getting pressure on the quarterback's a big key. They start out with Laws in the backfield, which hasn't typically been the way they've done it.
So in the pistol formation, they're going to give it to Law's first carry of the ball game, and he gets the outside, and it's not before he's brought down by Betts there, but looks like he's got plenty for the first down. Well, he's just going to be shy. It looks like it's going to be just shy of the 30-yard line. So, but nice offensive start from Mount Carmel there.
Yeah, nice first down play. That's second and short.
So we'll call it 9 yards on the play. It's going to be second and just inches. Pass out there caught. That's actually received by number 82, and that's Caleb Klein, one of the split ends. And he gets that ball to the 37-yard line, so about 8 yards on the pickup, and just like that, Mount Carmel's rolling.
That's a good first couple plays. Cats need to get some pressure, get in the backfield a little bit. It's a little better job there.
This time, Levi Laws again with the carry. They've been starting Sean Flicklinger at that tailback spot mostly this season, but looks like they're really wanting to utilize Law's ability. And you can see actually their offensive line shifting from the left to the right side, so I don't know if that's any indication why they're going strong to the right side with a slot and a split over there. They give it to Laws. He goes right side and is just tripped up there, just past the line of scrimmage, but not before he gains about 5 on that play.
Yeah, he had a little hole. We're more level with the field. It's harder for us to see what kind of gaps are there, but he had a little space, and the Cats were able to trip him up.
So ball rests at the 45-yard line.
Big third down play here.
Metcalf, a 6'4" senior. Left-hander throws it out there, and it's caught. And just right at about midfield, just shy of midfield. I believe that was caught by number 35, Alan Thomas. So the chains will move again, 1st and 10 for Mount Carmel. So it just seems like just a little bit of nickel and diamond right now, Bless.
Yeah, they're just picking it away. That's their offense, and their passing game is much like their running game, and just hoping to break one, get through.
So 5 yards on that play. Now Law's going to roll to his left. His strength and wide open over there, and in between, trying to be brought down by Teal. But not before. That's number 30, Austin Thompson, with his first catch of the ball game. So Mount Carmel offense, and they're no huddle at all. They're hurrying right up. That ball now rests at the, I believe it's at the 30.
At the 34 yard line. It's a nice play. He was had way too much space there in the middle.
And again, just receivers wide open over in the flat this time. Number 35 is Alan Thomas. He's got another catch. And so right now, Mount Carmel just rolling right along.
Yeah, the Cats are going to have to figure something out to get some pressure or get their hands up or somehow stop those little quick hitches.
So that's
it's nothing new that they haven't seen. I think they're not used to this caliber of athlete, so you're going to have to work on it.
This time, Laws goes right up the middle, tries to spin away from tacklers. Cats
a little more familiar to what we're used to from the Wildcat defense there.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 7. 3-yard run by number 38, Levi Laws. Ball right at the 20-yard line. Metcalf back to throw.
Nice catch.
Defender fell down over there. It was Teal, but the ball does pop out, but not before he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. That was catch by Caleb Klein. He just caught it there on a little hook pattern and takes it the rest of the way for the score. So just like that, with 8:41 on the clock, Mount Carmel wasted no time, bless, marching down the field there.
No, they really didn't have much trouble picking our defense apart. We're going to have to bump those guys on the line a little more, disrupt their routes, and definitely got to get more pressure on the quarterback.
So a 20-yard touchdown pass from Metcalf to number 82, Caleb Klein. Caleb Klein is their kicker, so he's looking to kick the extra point, and
no good.
It is way too low and hits the Wildcat defenders. So
good break for the Wildcats. Now, if we can come back and, answer, everything will be just fine. That's the key.
And that's just one of those situations tonight where, we may be facing a real shootout because both of these offense score very well. The Wildcats last week put 51 points on the board against Princeton. Mount Carmel averages themselves 43.6 and only give up 12.6. The Cats average 42.7 and give up 14 defensively. Mount Carmel leads at 6-0 with 8:41 on the clock here in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was a good opening drive by Mount Carmel, just doing, I think, exactly what they wanted to do. Hitting the short ones and then finding some space a little deeper. And give the Golden Aces credit. They made some nice catches. Good. They showed good athletic ability and good hands, especially on that last one.
So they'll tee it up from the 40-yard line. Back deep for the Wildcats. Looks like it's Ben Moore along with Scott Stallwood back here.
Zach Wood on the left.
Stallwood's going to take it right around the 10-yard line, straight up the gut. Looks like he's got an opening there, and not before he's finally brought down.
I actually think that's Landon Jeffers. It's hard to tell between 6, 8, and 9, but that was Landon Jeffers on
Landon Jeffers, okay. All right, so Jeffers does return that football to just shy of the 40-yard line. We'll call it 38. That's where the Wildcats start their first possession. And, again, very important for the Wildcat offense to stay as hot as they've been. Quarterback Nolan Aarons will start things off under center. You got Nick Hale in the backfield, single back. And Ben Moore, who split out, actually comes in motion. Aaron's lost it out there, but he's going to overthrow his receiver. That's Wood.
Yeah, he had him open, had some space. They decoy Ben on that play in motion into the flat. He run out a lot down at the goal line, but went deep. And I think the Cats are going to try and pick on the freshman number 2, Dax Peach. He's the coach's son. I know they're going to look to try and attack him.
Well, that's the thing. Dax Peach is just a freshman, 5'7", 135, and I know teams have been trying to take advantage of that, but he's done pretty well. There's Aaron's actually keeping on a quarterback option there and gets it to the 45, so a gain of about 7 for the quarterback. He actually ran one for a touchdown last week against Princeton, his first touchdown run of the year. Ball now rests at the 45-yard line.
Need a big third down conversion here.
Pitch out is to Hale, and boy, he is just stuck right there at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be at least a yard, maybe 2 short, depending on, okay, well, they spot it right there, and it looks like the Cats aren't going to waste any time. They're going to punt this thing away. So the Cats go 3 and out on their first possession. Of course, they only putt in about 30% of the time, it seems like, so you never know if that's going to be the case. I'm sure Aaron's will be looking for open opportunities, but if not, then actually Mount Carmel's well prepared for it. Most of their guys on the line, and they're going to call a timeout here, so they want to make sure.
Yeah, they're setting up in pretty standard defense, one guy deep. But
all right, so we'll take a break in the action. There's 7:22 to go here in the first quarter. Jasper trails 6-0 against Mount Carmel. You're watching Wildcat football on 18 WJ. Back at the Snake Pit here in Mount Carmel, Illinois. Cats 3 and out on their first possession, set to punt here. At least they're showing punt. And that's what Aaron's going to do. He actually gets a nice punt off. And Receiver fields it at about the 5-yard line. Gets away from one defender. Now he's getting to the outside. That's Laws, and you know how dangerous he can be.
With a block in the back, it's not going to get called.
Nope. But he does return that football to nice about return. The 30. We'll see where they spot it here. But anyway, you know, he's just one of those football players. Again, last week with a 70-plus yard punt return against Washington, and he is just one dangerous football player, and there's no surprise that he is lined up at a tailback spot because they want to give him as many touches as he possibly can.
Yeah, so. he's real good player.
Mount Carmel's going to start off at the 30-yard line after the 25-yard punt return, 1st and 10.
Now the Cats got to make some adjustments here after that first series. You know, the Aces just look too comfortable. They got to do something to make them more uncomfortable. Good job up front.
Handoff is given to the back, and actually Stallwood came up from his safety spot to help make the stop there. It looks like they actually moved Flickinger back to the tailback spot, so number 28 with the carry. Only actually we're going to call it no gain on the play. 2nd and 10. All right, officials whistle for stoppage of play. It looks like we may have a equipment situation out there, but everything's under control. Chin straps are snapped. That's a tongue twister there, Bless. Metcalf's going to roll off to his left, dumps it out there, and I believe that's Laws with the football. Nope, but take that back. It's number 30, Austin Thompson. Looks like he's going to have enough for the first down, 11 yards on the play. So just like that, boy, the Mount Carmel passing game has just been nails, Bless.
Yeah, it's really looks good. We're close there on that coverage. We're not far away, but we're not close enough, and Metcalf's put it in the right place to just make the completions. I got him for that's his 6th completion out of 6 attempts.
Yeah, so he's perfect, 6 for 6 in the ball game, and including the lone score so far, the 20-yard touchdown pass thrown on their last possession. There's Laws wide open. He finds an open seam, and he's just off to the races now. I don't know if Betts is going to be able to catch him. He is not. So just like that, Mount Carmel busts for a 59-yard touchdown reception. Metcalf.
Yeah, Laws just got on the inside of our defensive back there and found a seam, and Metcalf put it in the right place.
So the Wildcats are just going to have to make some adjustments here because, again, they're just spreading the ball all over the field. He's thrown out to the flats. He's rolled out and hit receivers. Now he's finding open seams right up the middle of the field and not taking long at all with 6:13 to go. Mount Carmel with a 12-0 lead, and I believe they're going to go for 2 this time after the missed kick last time.
Well, it's going to test the Cats' mettle here to see if they can fight back in a hostile environment. There's quite a crowd here from Mount Carmel across the way.
So the conversion is good. Number 30, Austin Thompson.
Got good cover. He's right there, but these receivers are doing a good job. They just have a sense of getting in the way and getting between the defender and the ball and making the plays. And we're going to have to do something to change that, or it's going to be a long bus ride home.
All right, so 14-0 is the score. We'll take a break in the action. Jasper trails 14-0 against Mount Carmel. You're watching Wildcat football on 18 WJTS. Back at the Snake Pit, 2 possessions for Mount Carmel, 2 touchdowns. They lead this game 14-0 over the Jasper Wildcats. And
yeah, not where the Cats wanted to be at this point in the game, that's for sure. We're going to have to fight back and get us a score here.
Jeffers is going to return it again. This time better coverage by Mount Carmel, but he does get to about the 31, 32-yard line, so that's where the Wildcats going to start with their second possession. And yeah, it's just been Reese Metcalf just pretty well picking the Wildcat defense apart so far in this football game, boys.
Yeah, they have, and now the Cats need to make something happen on offense. And the Golden Aces did a pretty good job, but on a 3-and-out, it's hard to tell really the flow of the game as it's going to go for the Jasper offense. So pretty important to make something happen here. Just good sustained football. It's still early, so there's still plenty of time, so you don't have to take yourself out of what you normally would do.
Flea flickers, throwing long to Wood. He comes back, catches the football. Nice job by him. Peach was over there, kind of stopped on the play, and he didn't really look back for the football. And
it's really
Wood just was like, almost, he could have called a fair catch on that catch.
Yeah, he could have, and he more or less did, and went up and took it away from Dax. And you know that he's going to win that battle most of the time. And you know, nice play, good gain, but just a little bit underthrown, maybe too much air. If he keeps it out there and lets him run, because he was behind him, that's probably a touchdown.
That's a 32-yard play there for the Wildcats. Now with the eye backfield, Cat's going to throw it again. Dump out there. He's trying to find Alice, but it was actually well covered. On the play was the linebacker number 54, Austin Rue. And you know, Mount Carmel defensively, I mean, they for the most part will line up 3 men on the line, showing more of a 3-4 look, but they're not afraid to bring their outside linebackers up to give you more of that 5-2 look against the run. But pretty well in pass coverage as the Wildcats now have 5 wide receivers split this time. And second down, Aaron rolls to his right, finds Wood over there on the sideline. He gets across the 30 to about the 29-yard line.
A decent second down gain, so a little bit short third down conversion coming up. I think he's at about the 30.
And looks like they're going to mark it actually at about the 28-yard line, so a gain of 7. So Wildcat offense so far has been the passing tandem of Aarons to Zach Wood. Third down, pitches to Hale. Puts his head down and keeps moving forward. It looks like he's got plenty for the first down as he gets right close to the 20-yard line.
Yeah,
Just needed about 3.5.
It's a good run. The line guard pulled and busted up in there and gave him a little room. And just a good football play right there to get what we needed for a first down.
Ball spot at the 22. This time Hale actually takes it.
It's a nice run. Had space just on the corner there. And they're going to pinch it down. The notes from the coaches and the film we've seen say the Golden Aces will pinch down those ends, which get you to good opportunities on the stretch plays, especially when you got our good tight ends, Hipschman and Hollis, working those corners.
So 11-yard run gives the Wildcats a 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. And there's Ben Moore with his first carry of the ball game, and it's a good one as he gets real close to the goal line. That may be enough for a first down. It looks like it is. So he
been a good fight there for
good 10 yards or so. But it's going to bring up 1st and goal for the Wildcats from the 1. So the Cat offense marching right back to try to cut into this 14-0 lead.
Yeah, and this is, you know, it's a good series. You know, Jasper in that first series of downs, they went for the bomb on the first play and didn't connect. And here they're, you know, a little more sustained drive after the big play to Zach.
And Songer just busts through for the 1-yard plunge, and he's in for the Wildcats' first score. So the nice thing about that drive there, Bless, is that, you know, we actually start off with a nice 32-yard bomb to Wood, where the defender actually wasn't really looking for the football, and he just kind of waited for the ball to come down right into his hands, but that pretty well set things up. He caught a 7-yard pass after that, then it was just pretty well 4 straight runs, and the Wildcats are in the end zone.
Yeah, good job of blocking, and good job of hard running by the Wildcat backs, Nick Hale and Ben Moore.
All right, in this situation, I guess they're going to decline it.
They're going to decline it and get the 1 point.
Well, move you halfway up there, and you know you're already, well, I guess 2 extra points, and you're still tied.
Back to the normal.
I was thinking, I mean, Mount Carmel actually missed their kick earlier on their first touchdown, but hit for the 2-point conversion to give them their 14 points. And Kruger has pretty well been automatic as long as he gets it up, and he does, and it's straight through. So Mount Carmel with 14, Jasper with their first 7. You're watching Wildcat football from the Snake Pit here on 18 WJTS. Back at the Snake Pit here in Mount Carmel, Illinois. Kruger set to kick it off. Ball's teed up there at the 40-yard line.
Good kick.
It's a nice boot. Now I think 1 foot into the end zone.
Right on the line. That's a good boot. Just have to be touching that line, and it brings it out.
It was actually fielded by Devin Tomlinson. He was the one who had that 88-yard kickoff return that pretty well took control of the football game against Princeton a few weeks ago in their 47-35 win. Mount Carmel 14, Jasper 7, so bless. It's good to see the Wildcat offense get rolling there.
Yeah, it was good to fight back and move down the field and get a score. And, you know, the Cats defense really need to do something here. I think we got some fresh faces. Pablo Santos, number 43, is in on the line now, adding a little quickness.
The main thing is we just got to be able to get a pass rush or something in there, because Metcalf's just been able to sling it all over the field. He's perfect 7 for 7 passing with 2 touchdowns already. Metcalf's going to roll to his right this time. Throws it out there, and the pass is knocked away nicely. It looks like
that's good coverage, good play, aggressive play. Yeah, you got to go after it.
So Cortland Betts actually was there on the play.
Coach Eckert was giving those defensive backs some animated explanation of what they were doing wrong a little while ago here on the sidelines.
Well, it's going to be necessary because the passing game has just been wide open so far for the Golden Aces.
Yeah, see now the first down incomplete. Now it's 2nd and long, and everything changes. They're not in control anymore as much.
He does pitch it out here, and that's actually Thompson again snagging that ball, but a lot of flags flew there, so we'll see what this is all about.
Holding, so that's going to be driving back a little bit. So,
because he actually,
on the defense there, they brought a guy into the flat and brought our backers up and left a little seam in there. Granted, a nice adjustment to come over and pick him up, but luckily there's a little holding, so it's not going to matter.
Assume they'll take it from where he's moving that football back to the 10-yard line. So 10-yard penalty will make it 2nd and 20 now for the Aces. Mount Carmel leads 14-7. 3:43 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I need a big play here by the defense. I see that they have Cal Kruger, 36, in it to add a little speed.
Right.
Again, I think we're trying to improve our quickness. He's got a guy in the inside slot here. Looks like another timeout.
Yeah, it looks like Mount Carmel's going to call another timeout here, as they've got quite a bit of real estate to go, but they've been picking up yardage in chunks so far in this football game. We'll take a break here in the action. You're watching Wildcat football on 18 WJTS. 14-7 is our score. Mount Carmel leads the Wildcats here in the first quarter action. Mount Carmel pushed back to the 10-yard line after a holding penalty on the last pass play. Metcalf sends a man in motion and whistles fly, and they're going to call illegal movement on Mount Carmel. So we got a false start there. So Mount Carmel shooting themselves in the foot a little bit here now, Bless.
Yeah, they are. They're pushing back, and maybe that first incomplete pass again, it changes the whole dynamic and rhythm of what they were doing, and now it's 2nd forever, which, as we know from watching film and what they've done so far tonight, that's not an impossible task for them. But I think they're trying to get.
Forever is 25 yards, and just like that, he finds an open seam again. Walls gets the first down.
Yeah, I think Coach Eckert, they started that play before, and they knew what they were going to do, and Tate needed to bump him or slow him down or cover him, and he didn't. He just got past him and really made a nice play.
It was actually just shy 24 yards on the play, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. But wow, you just cannot. Defensively, we're just not doing our job stopping this Mount Carmel offense. Face a 2nd and 25, and they come up with 24 big yards. Now they actually put Laws from the backfield into a slot position. They're going to throw it again, and just wide open right there is Alan Thomas. So it's just a little pitch and catch, and an easy first down for Mount Carmel.
Yeah, that 3rd down play really hurt. They needed to not let him get such a big chunk there, make it a little tougher on it, because that's just a little pitch and catch on a 1-yarder.
The ball now at the 38-yard line, 9 yards on that play. First and 10 for the Aces. And movement again. So, no, actually, the Wildcats call a timeout. So, Coach Nick Eckert's going to have to talk things over here with his defense. So, we'll take a timeout as well. 2:45 to go here in the first quarter. Mount Carmel leads at 14-7 over the Jasper Wildcats. You're watching Wildcat football on 18 WJT. Back at the snake pig, Mount Carmel was pushed back to a 2nd and 25 situation. Came up with 24 big yards on a pass play and followed that up with 9 more yards. And they got first and 10 from the 38-yard line. And the Wildcats defense has just got to get some pressure on the quarterback. This time, actually,
Murray gets in the backfield there.
Yep.
That's a nice tackle for loss.
So that's going to be a loss of about, well, he moves it back to 34, loss of 4 yards on the play. So nice job by Moises Valenciano to get in the backfield.
Good first down defensive play by the Cats. Mo finding a seam and getting back there, getting to Metcalf.
But again, Metcalf last year took 180 yards for initial score against the Wildcats, but then the Wildcats took control of that football game, so hopefully the Cats can do it this time. Boy, Coach Eckert is furious. He calls a timeout here, and he is all over Stallwood, so just really upset with his secondary there, boys.
Yeah, at this point, he needs the players to recognize things and make adjustments before they can get that play off.
Well, the thing is, you got to call that timeout in that situation because obviously your coverage wasn't there, and and again, they've been able to just pick us apart all over the field, especially up the middle the last couple times.
Yeah, they've beat that man-to-man coverage pretty handily, but as the last time out, just a few minutes ago, the coaches were telling those defensive ends especially, they got to get their hands up.
Right.
And the defensive backs, if they're up close, they really got to bump those guys and get them off their routes and then be athletic enough to stay with them. And we really need to play here at this point. It's still not the end of the first quarter yet, but we need a stop or a turnover or something good to happen.
Right.
They've been a little stingier on defense this series. A lot of that has to do with the penalties by the Golden Aces, but we need to make a play.
So Metcalf by himself there with 5 wide receivers. He throws this one a little bit long, but it's still, or a little bit high, but it's actually still able to bring it down as Austin Thompson. Actually, Teal made a break on the ball, but his timing was off a little bit, and that allowed Austin Thompson to squeeze that ball for another big gain and a first down.
I couldn't tell if that was maybe tipped. If it was tipped, then we just knocked it.
So 14 yards on the play, and they needed 14 yards to get the first down, and they get it. So another hookup from 7 to 30. First and 10, Mount Carmel, just shy of midfield. Now we finally get one knocked down there. I think Alice got his hands on that one.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, Bless. I mean, Alice, with this size from that defensive end spot, I know we've had Hipschman in there before. He's not in there right now, but yeah, those defensive ends have just got to get into his face a little bit because he stands 6'4", but Alice is 6'3". He ought to be able to compete against him.
Even on this play over here, I don't know if it was tipped or not, and we can't run it back, but if nothing else, they had to make an adjustment to get it over the lineman's head to throw it up, and that gave us a better chance to make a play on it.
So it's going to make it 2nd and 10. Ball still at the 48-yard line of Mount Carmel. They give it to Flickinger. Sean Flickinger, number 28. 5'9" junior, 210 pounds. And he gets it right at the 50-yard line, so 2-yard carry on that.
It's a good
so that's
good running defense. Now we got 3rd and 7 or 8 here. And
very important for the Wildcats to get a 3rd down stop. Metcalf has his play. Signals over here to Klein to our near side. He's got 3 receivers to his right. Chucks it out there, and this time the ball knocked away. Nice job there by Braden Betts making a break on the football. And
yeah, and that was a little better. Of course, some of the players, and I'm sure all those people in that big stand set up over here, and some of the Golden Aces broadcasters thought that should have been a penalty, but that's just a good aggressive defense, and that's what the Cats got to do. They got to go after the ball. They can't just sit back and let them catch it or wait for them to drop it.
Yep, no doubt about it. So they do set back to punt. I think it's actually Metcalf back to punt.
Really important to keep him from.
And he's going to get it off, so Cats will not return it.
Oh,
It's going to take a nice bounce and go all the way inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. So
that was heading out of bounds and just kicked back in.
So 41 yards on the punt. And so the Wildcats are going to have a long field to go, but
a little better job there on the defense. You know, the run defense was sound. They put a little more pressure. They're getting their hands up. You know, they made some adjustments, which is what they had to do. The defensive backs are going to get more aggressive. You know, if you get some pass interference calls, that's going to happen. But that's what we're going to need to have is that aggressiveness if we're going to shut them down.
Aaron's under center. He's got actually Ben Moore in the backfield on the power play, and he carries the football.
You know, that's a new twist this week. We haven't pitched the ball much all year, but we've had a couple of pitches now, I think, trying to get to the edge.
We'll give him 4 yards on the carry. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6. Ball at the 13-yard line. And the Cats have got to respond and try to get downfield to tie this football game. Mount Carmel leads at 14-7. Right here with 23 seconds to go here in the first quarter of action.
It's going to have to get us a 3rd down conversion. Not much room there.
Actually Moore again with the carry and gain maybe 3 on the play. He's going to set up a 3rd and a long 3. And that's going to wrap up the first quarter of action. But boy, plenty of action it's been as Mount Carmel in their first 2 possessions just marched right down the field, scored quickly, and took an early 14-0 lead. Cats came back on their 2nd possession, were able to get in the end zone to score their 7. So Mount Carmel leads at 14-7 at the end of 1. Mount Carmel, Illinois. Snake pit. Wildcats facing a 3rd and 4 situation. Aaron's back to throw. He's going to throw it up long. Zach Wood's got that football, and they're going to throw a flag here. I think it's going to be defensive pass interference. It's got to be.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I don't see anything that Wood might have done in that situation, but he was able to pull that football in, and the ball's going to be spotted at the 45-yard line. So a huge play for the Cats there.
Yeah, big play. I thought the Cats might try and take a chance on a long one. You know.
So that's a 40-yard hookup. That's 2 huge hookups between Nolan Aarons and Zach Wood. In the last drive, he hooked up for.
It's a nice ball.
Nice 32-yard play, and this time for 40 yards.
Nice ball Nolan threw. Zach ran right underneath it. And their timing's just been really great this year.
So 1st and 10 from the Mount Carmel 45-yard line. Gives to Songer there. Songer's got some opening to the outside. Nice run there. He's not coming down until finally Laws was able to wrestle him down. But yeah, a beautiful 1st down run for a fullback there. And
not quite.
Ran that ball to the 35-yard line. Just going to be shy. Well, I don't know if they're going to measure this. No, they're calling it a 1st down. There we go. So 10 yards on the run, 1st and 10.
Yeah, it was a little misdirection, and we caught him leaning, and Ian had some space, and then he punished one of those defensive backs, as he, I think, likes to do.
Aarons rolls out. He pitches it out there to Alice, and climbing his back to make the tackle is number 35, Alan Thomas.
It's good to see him try and get it in Alice's hands.
Right. But he only gains about 1 on the play.
Again, it's getting some rhythm going now, and getting him active on the offense. It's although not many yards, it's not just an awful play.
So 2nd and 9 from the 34-yard line. Oh, almost lost that football was Hale.
And he hesitated a little in there. I guess he was looking for some room, but on that one he just needed to bust it up in there.
And actually, Alan Thomas saw him lose control of that ball. He tried to strip it out, but Hale was able to get the ball to the 31-yard line, so a gain of 3 on the play.
Yeah, so that's why he was hesitating. He was getting the ball back. I didn't see that.
So 3 yards on the carry, 3rd and 6 from the 31-yard line.
Big 3rd down here. Need to get a bunch of it back.
They push out there, and Hipsman not able to handle that bullet thrown by Aarons. It was right at his fingertips. He should have caught that thing, but closing in on the play was defensively number one.
No one believes he should have caught it more than Phillip, and he's been pretty sure-handed. It's good that the play was there. He's well delivered. Just got to execute on that. Here it is, fourth, and looks like we're going for it.
Yeah, 4th and 6. Get right here at the 31-yard line of Mount Carmel. It's definitely 4-down territory. So big play here for the Wildcats. Mount Carmel looking to make a big defensive play, and actually the officials call a quick timeout. There must be something on the field.
I look for him to try and do something with Alice in the slot, or looks like they got Ben Moore stacked up over there, maybe for a bubble screen, or just send one of them deep.
Aaron's actually on a quarterback draw. Looks like he's got plenty. Nice call there by Coach Mock.
Yeah, because I think that was excellent, because I think, they saw the same thing we did and are predicting that stack up, and the offensive line did a nice job of just creating enough space for Nolan to weave through there and get a nice first down gain.
11 yards on the play, and now the ball is in the red zone at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Huge 4th down conversion there. Now you got your wishbone set up, and Ben Moore with nowhere to go, met by a number of maroon jerseys. So right there, Riley Raber coming up from his free safety spot to make the stop. So no gain on the play. It still sits at the 20-yard line.
I can give him 1 yard for that.
All right, so we'll call it a 2nd and long 9.
We got Cody Jacobs, number 19, in.
Yep.
He is the smartest kid on the field. No question about it. Ben Moore might argue about that. I think they have
So 3 wide receivers to the right side, but Aarons is going to run the football this time, and nothing there. Picked up nicely by the linebacker Austin Rue, number 54 for Mount Carmel. They're saying, I'm going to say no gain on the play. Still facing a 3rd and 9. So Aarons, who's not really run the football much this year,
It's got 3 carries now tonight.
Right.
I think all design. I think that one was a design play. I'm not sure it looked like it, or that after he dropped back, he just thought he had some space.
Wishbone backfield. Play action out of it. Aaron's got wide open room on the right side. Plenty of space over there, and he stiff arms the would-be tackler, runs out of bounds. Plenty for the first down.
Great decision he made. He dropped back. He had some time. He was looking. We had everybody on the left side of the field, which brought all the Golden Aces with him, and just gave Nolan some good space to trot down there for about
14 yards.
14 yards.
Yep. As the ball's now spotted at the 5-yard line, 1st and goal. So the Wildcat offense, last 2 possessions, just coming up with nice, long, sustained drives, set up nicely by long hookups between Aarons to Zach Wood. On this drive is a 40-yarder.
See what our offensive line can do here, and see if they can just make something happen.
They give it to Hale. Hale's not giving up, and he cuts to his left and takes it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, good job blocking. And he got a little seam, and he cut it back. Just a great cut back there against the grain, and just a nice play. That was a great drive, sustained drive. Cats showed great poise. Nolan Aarons, making great decisions. Great, maybe overstating it. He certainly made some good ones, though.
Well, I mean,
90 them up, yeah.
Basically 91 yards and 12 plays, bless, and any type of drive that's 90-plus yards is huge.
Yeah, it took some clock and proved to everybody here that the Cats aren't going to lay down.
Kruger perfect right through, and this football game is tied. So 14 for Jasper, 14 for Mount Carmel. We'll take a break in the action with 8:11 to go here in the 2nd quarter. You're watching Wildcat football on 18 WJ. 8:11 to go here. Ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Kruger ready to kick it. He's kicked a couple of them into the end zone already.
I don't know which way the wind's going, so it might not be quite as good, but it's a good high kick.
This one actually is going to be fielded, but actually it's dropped. but recovering the football and doing a nice job of getting something out of something that could have been really disastrous for Mount Carmel is number 43, Devin Tomlinson.
That's 42, Ryan Smith on the tackle.
So Smith doing a nice job of stopping him there, but not before he gets to the 24-yard line, about a 22-yard return. So Mount Carmel will start things off.
Let's see if the Cats defense can stay tough here and have another good set of downs. 3 and out would be great. Turnover would be even better. But they really gotta come at them and play hard here and really attack this offense. I think that's the way to little motion, I think.
There you go. They've had trouble with that, Bless. When they try to set that back, they tried to bring him in motion and got called for it. This time they actually tried to just reset him a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. That was Sean Flickinger, number 28, back in his running back spot there.
That's their third. They're going for 3 penalties. I might have missed one, but I think one
it's actually 4.
Is it?
So 5 yards back.
Certainly been costly, and that's the worst thing you can do when you don't have great field position starting to.
Actually, this time Metcalf's going to keep the football, and he's got an opening up the middle, and maybe real close to a first down here. Actually, it looks like he's going to be about 4 yards short, so gain of about 15 on the play. Call it 2nd and 4 from the 31-yard line.
12-yard gain, right? 7 and 5.
Yep.
The Wildcat tacklers, but might have been a little bit. They give them stop. See what they got for progress. Giving them the first down.
So the Aces move the chains there on that run.
Needed 4, and they got about 4.5.
Yep.
Flickering?
Yep. Flickinger. Number 28. 4 yards we'll give him credit for. And ball now at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for Mount Carmel. Good pressure there this time for the Wildcats, and Metcalf not able to get rid of the football and has to make something out of it. And looks like he may have got back to the line of scrimmage. Actually down out there.
Boone John's down.
That's number 53, Boone John. And he is.
It does not look like pain. It looks
like he may be grabbing his right knee, I believe. You certainly don't want this. Boone John, a good plug on the defensive line. And need everybody we can get to stop the run. So we're going to take a quick break in the action as he's being attended to. Tie game 14-14 with 6:56 to go here in the second quarter. You're watching Wildcat football. Number 53, Boone John, being helped off the field. Hopefully it's not too serious there, Bless.
Yeah, they're helping him quite a bit. He's trying to put a little weight on it. He's a tough young man, and he's done a good job of coming in after the first couple games and being a solid contributor there on the defensive line.
2nd and 10, ball at the 35-yard line, 6:52 to go here in the first half.
I think Pablo Santos is in for him now.
Metcalf lofts it out there, tried to get a one-on-one situation there. Nice job by Kruger.
Kruger, yeah. He's right with him. Good job.
So he's trying to chuck that pass out to the slot back, number 38, Levi Laws. So that's going to bring a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 for Mount Carmel. So the Wildcat defense getting a stop on the last drive, forcing a punt, and looking to do the same here. Mount Carmel got pushed back 5 yards on a penalty, faced a 1st and 15. They get 1 first down so far in this drive. And there's that penalty again. It's like every single time. I don't know. I'm trying to understand as far as whenever he sets up there, I don't know if somebody else is making a move as well. But well, you can just hear the Mount Carmel coaching staff screaming from atop the press box here. Not happy about that as they go back 5 and will now face a 3rd and 15 instead of a 3rd and 10. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line now.
Be a good time for our defensive line to make something big happen. We got 2 big ends, Hipschman and Hollis. bookends for Mo and Pablo Santos.
The 5 wide receivers out there. Metcalf's going to set up a screen for Laws. Gets by a couple guys, and now
he did a nice job.
Braden Betts came up and finally stopped him.
Nice job of making a miss, but the Wildcat defense did make him pay a little bit.
So he actually gets the ball to the 39-yard line. So a 9-yard pickup on the play. He needed 15, so Mount Carmel's going to set up the punt on the 4th and 6. But as you know, you got a guy like Metcalf back there, just like when the Wildcats set up Aaron's to punt. It's always a threat for the fake. Cats have 2 receivers back to receive. He does get the punt off. Betts is just going to let it, well, now he's going to let it roll away, and it's going to fall inside the 20-yard line, about the 18. So that's where the Wildcats will start off again. They tied this football game in their last possession. 14-14 is the score. But the defense doing the job last 2 times, Bless.
Yeah, they did a nice job of good aggressive coverage and not letting the runs happen too much. But again, the Golden Aces really hurt themselves on those 2 false starts in tough situations.
So the Wildcat offense with touchdowns. Their last touchdown drive was 12 plays, 91 yards. Actually highlighted a 40-yard reception by Zach Wood, a 10-yard run by Ian Songer, then 2 nice runs by Nolan Aarons to set up eventually the 5-yard touchdown run by Hale. Nice pitch and catch there quickly. Should net about 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, nice. Ben Moore's always a good target, and it's a nice play.
So moves that ball to about the 22. We'll call it 5 yards on the play. Number 2 pass to number 12. And we'll face a 2nd and 5 from the 22.
About 5 minutes to go. Run it again.
Yep. And it looks like it's going to net about the same thing as well. We'll see if they move the chains. No, they're actually going to. Nope, they do.
They called for
He's
first
calling
down.
for the first down. So 5 yards on the play again. Aaron's pass to Moore. Setting up a 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Aaron's this time gives the Songer. He loses the football, but hopefully he can get back on top of it, but he's not able to. But a flag does fly. I'm going to say this is probably going to be against Jasper this time, the way he chucked it at the line of scrimmage there. But I believe recovering that football was number 43, Devin Tomlinson. So they're going to decline that penalty. Boy, that's just costly right there because he had a full steam ahead as he broke away from the pack there, and then the ball just popped out.
He usually does such a good job of covering it up and just squirted out on him and almost had a chance to pick it up, just couldn't quite get a handle of it. And the turnover in this part of the field is tough. It's now we need a big play for the Cats defense here.
So that's the first turnover of the football game for either team. So Mount Carmel will get the football in Wildcat territory. Great field position at the 39.
Yeah, short field. Need an aggressive defense here.
Metcalf gives the football off to Flickinger. Number 28 carries the ball to the 35-yard line, gain of about 4.
Hey, we ended up with the ball there, but they're going to call him down. Tate made an initial hit there, but 5 yards for
2nd down and 6 from the 35-yard line. 4:39 on the clock. So I'm sure Mount Carmel's going to want to hold possession of this football to run the half out if they can, but actually Flickinger nice.
Yep. The Wildcats.
Good swarm there. And the ball gets knocked again and went all the way out of bounds over there.
They're going to call his progress stopped, but that was good. Good to see the Jasper defense swarming, as is customary, as what we're used to.
So a 2-yard loss this time.
There's not 4:10 to go, but I understand down here at Mount Carmel that clock may not always be true to how much time really is left.
Right. Never know. So now 3rd and long again for Mount Carmel. The Cats were able to stop them last time when they had 3rd and 9. Pass out there. Laws snags it, boy, and he goes down. Oh, boy, I thought he was going to break away there. Cortland Betts made the initial pop on him.
That's a good job.
And just kind of threw him off balance a little bit there because he lost control of the ball carrier, and Laws was not able to gain his balance, and no gain on the play even though the pass was received. So we'll call it no gain. So now
4 down territory. Yep. Definitely going for it to this point. 3 minutes to go.
And 5 wide receivers. Actually, Tate's going to pick up one of them. Wow, just like that, Austin Hollis just jumped right off the sides. Boy, we just cannot have that critical mistake.
Both. Now it's 4th and short.
Yeah, about 4th and
2 is a lot easier.
Yeah. So we'll march that ball up to the 32-yard line. So offsides.
Yeah, now they got a lot more plays they can run now. It's just
the other thing too is if you put pressure on the quarterback and he breaks free, he only has to go 3 yards versus 8. It's a world of difference. And we jump off again. This time Moises Valenciano. So just like that, we give him 2 offside penalties and an easy 1st down on 4th down. We cannot make those mistakes.
Well, Mo jumped on the first one too, and Austin did. So that's all right. It's they're aggressive players, and they're trying to make a play. That stuff happens. So now it's all about how you respond to this adversity and see if we can come back and make a play.
They stay with the same formation with 5 wide receivers. Metcalf looking to his left, chucks it out there, caught. Klein with the football, brought down by Teal, but not before he gets inside the 20-yard line. Looks like it's about the 18, so it's going to be second. I call it a 2nd and 1.
From this angle, I saw Grant Teal making a break on that, and just couldn't get there.
Actually give the football to number 8, Tony Miller. There he goes, number 8. Yep, number 8, Tony Miller, 6'1", 220 running back.
Plays defensive tackle too.
Yeah. So he easily gets that 1 yard he needed. He actually gets the ball to about the 13-yard line, 5 yards on the pickup, 1st and 10. Miller gets it again this 2nd time, and Alice tries to pull it away, and Cass just did not wrap. They had him stop, no whistle blew, and they let up. And so he's able to squirt away for what should have been maybe a 1 yard gain. Winds up being about a gain of 5.
Yeah, Cats need to be careful if they stack it up like that, not to get too many guys in there. Don't catch the guys coming off the ball for a quick hitter.
2nd and 5, ball at the 8-yard line. 1 minute 16 to go, and 5 seconds on the play clock, and Mount Carmel's going to call a timeout here. So we'll take a break in the action. Game's tied, Jasper 14, Mount Carmel 14, but Mount Carmel will come back at the 8-yard line when we return. You're watching Wildcat football with the football at the 8-yard line, facing a 2nd and 5 with 1 minute and 13 seconds on the clock here in the 1st half. Metcalf's going to roll to his right. The left-hander chucks it out there. It's caught, and he does get into the end zone. That's number 35, Allen Thomas, with the touchdown. Take it back, Thomas Allen, actually. So Mount Carmel takes the lead in this football game. 1:07 to go, 20-14, and they'll be setting up to kick the extra point.
That's that little play in the flat is just a tough one to cover, especially whenever a guy makes a nice catch like that. Goes up with his hands, catches it with his hands. We weren't far from being there, but again, close on plays like that. It's like it doesn't matter. It's not horseshoes.
Caleb Klein. Line drives it through, and That's all he needs to do, and makes this score 21 for Mount Carmel, 14 for Jasper, with 1:07 to go here in the first half. You're watching Wildcat football on 18W. Wildcat offside penalties. First was on a 4th and 8, then fouled up on 4th and 3 to get the first down, and then finally you see pass play to Thomas Allen, caught it 8 yards in for the touchdown, a lead 21-14.
Yeah, if there's anything good to come out of that, it's
Tate's got the ball. Tate Blessinger fields that. I'm not going to say it was an onside kick. I think they tried a squib, but boy, it didn't really go too far. Tate fielded it at about the 34-yard line and gets up to the 35. So actually, this is a big break for the Cats with just 1:02 in our offense.
Shorten the field for us, really, and our offense definitely can come back and score in a minute. One thing I wanted to mention about the defense, they had a short field. They made them work for it. They, some Golden Aces just didn't march down through there on that short field. Really got the break of a couple penalties. So now at least they made them earn it. Now let's see what the Cats can get one here.
Aarons chucks it out here to Ben Moore. He makes a nice cut. Close now, about the 48-yard line. So a gain of 12 on the play. Clock will stop to move the chains briefly. 54 seconds on the clock. So the Wildcats trying to make something happen here late. Inside of a minute to go. Pass over there. Wood.
Flag down.
Football, and a flag does go down, so that's going to stop play. Wood catches that football for about an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, hit pretty good. The one thing is both teams probably haven't been hit like this.
Defensive hold. So that's going to be a break for the Cats. You might as well take that penalty. That'll be at least 10 yards, right?
Yeah, I don't know if defensive holding is it automatic first down in high school. It is.
Well, it's
from the flag.
Yards,
yeah, from the flag, it's
10.
going to be. Yeah, so we get credit for the 8-yard catch, right?
Well, that's if they take the catch. They take the penalty. I'd say in this situation, unless.
Well, you can take. Can't you take both?
No.
I mean,
you either take the play or the penalty. I don't see. Unless defensive hold, if it's at least 10 yards, you got to take the penalty.
But I think it's an extension of the. No, it's 10 yards. You're right.
Yep. So defensive hold. So that's going to move the ball to the 42-yard line.
Still got 43 seconds to go. Clock's running.
Clock ticking inside of 40 seconds. Hipschman with a nice catch there. I don't think he had enough for the first.
Yeah, I think he does.
Maybe
he does. Stop the clock.
Yeah, he did. That will stop the clock. 11 yards on the play. Ball now at the 31-yard line.
They're going to go deep.
Actually, false start for the Wildcats. Cats getting a little anxious there.
Nothing hurt too bad there. I mean, we lose the 5 yards, but field position isn't really what we're playing here. We're working the clock. And
24 seconds, clock ticking. Dumps it off over there to Ben Moore, and there's going to be a hold. Unless it's a hit on the quarterback. No, there's going to be a hold on the Wildcats, yep.
And it's clock's down to 18 seconds now, but the clock is...
Penalties just hurting the Wildcats defensively with 2 penalties, and then on this offensive drive, couldn't take advantage of a defensive holding penalty and a 5-yard movement, and now a 5-yard hold, or a 10-yard hold from the spot, and that's really going to push the Cats back here with just 18 seconds to go, and the Wildcats will call a timeout. So we'll take a quick break in the action with 18 seconds to go. Jasper trails 21 for Mount Carmel, 14 for the Cats. You're watching Wildcat football, but they're facing a 1st and 26 from the 47-yard line after that holding penalty. 4 wide receivers. Aarons looks. He's going to run it himself, and that's going to pretty well kill the clock there because 10 seconds now without a timeout unless he can
set the ball
and ground it real quick before the end of the half. No, he ended up
He got it off.
Yeah, you got to play off, but the flags are flying. We might have somebody downfield. Aarons does complete the pass to, I think that's Wood. Zach Wood at about the 30-yard line, but that is going to be a hold against the Wildcats, and that will be the end of the half. Let's get the official call over here. Yeah, he looked like he was going to try to ground it, but ended up taking the snap and trying to run a play there. They're calling a chop block against the Wildcats. They'll decline, and that will be the end of the half. So, Mount Carmel scoring on the last drive after converting a 4th down. Takes the lead 21-14 over the Jasper Wildcats here at halftime. We'll take a break in the action and be back with the second half. You're watching Jasper Wildcat football on W18, or 18 WH18. We're at halftime at Mount Carmel, Illinois at the Snake Pit. Mount Carmel leads the Jasper Wildcats 21-14. We'll look at the scoring so far in this football game. Mount Carmel jumped out on top 6-0 on a 21-yard pass from Reese Metcalf to Caleb Klein. That was at the 8:41 point of the first quarter. Then their following drive after that, Levi Laws, the 59-yard pass from Reese Metcalf. That was at 6:13 to go in the first quarter to make it 14-0 after the 2-point conversion was Austin Thompson taking a pass from Reese Metcalf. Then the Wildcats got on the board at 3:55. Ian Songer with a 1-yard run, and Kruger put it through to make it 14-7. Then the second quarter, Wildcats got the first score of that quarter. The Nick Hale 5-yard run. Kruger kicked it through to tie it up at 14. And then at 1:07 to go, Thomas Allen took a 7-yard pass from Reese Metcalf into the end zone, and Klein's kick was good, and that's where we stand at 21-14. And let's take a look at some of the stats so far. I mean, offensively for the Wildcats, I mean, you look at Nolan Aarons, his passing numbers look good, but also his running numbers look pretty good as well.
Yeah, he's just a yard behind Ian Songer as our leading rusher with 5 carries for 32 yards, and it's pretty evenly dispersed. Other than that, Ian Songer 33 yards, Nick Hale 27 on 5 carries, and Ben 4 for 17. And you know, on their side of the ball, their rushing game hasn't been that great, but the passing game really is what has propelled them to this 7-point halftime lead, with Reese Metcalf going 14 of 18 with 203 yards and 3 TDs with a long pass of 58 yards there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he's just pretty well spread it around as far as with his receivers. Levi Laws with 4 catches for 91 yards. Thomas Allen with 4 catches for 30 yards. Austin Thompson had 3 catches for 44, and Caleb Klein 3 catches for 38. So, you know, he's just really spread things out. Wildcats have had 4 receivers catch it, led by Zach Wood, 4 catches for 93 yards. It included actually a 40-yard hookup on their second scoring drive, and they actually had a 32-yard hookup on their first scoring drive. So Alice and Wood have hooked up for a couple nice pass plays to keep those drives going. But really, as far as with the Wildcats there in the second quarter, after forcing Mount Carmel to a punt, Wildcats took the ball at the 17-yard line, and 2 plays later lost the fumble, or actually it was a run by Ian Songer. It looked like he was getting a little bit of open space there, lost the football, and Mount Carmel recovered at the 39 and eventually scored their touchdown pass. So that's where we stand at 21-14 right now. So the Wildcat defense, you know, kind of picked things up and improved a little bit there in the second quarter, but just a couple costly offside penalties on a 4th and 8 situation really allowed that drive to stay alive where they eventually scored.
Yeah, and you never know if Mount Carmel would have picked up that first down without the penalties, but nonetheless, it was awfully easy whenever they don't have to run the play. And the Jasper defense, after those first 2 drives, they basically were sieves as Mount Carmel went down the field. They, you know, made some adjustments, got aggressive, and you know, did a lot better job after those first 2 drives. And you know, the Jasper offenses, for the most part, look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's a pretty even game. If the Cats can score coming out of the halftime here as they get the ball after deferring it, you know, we'll see good things could happen.
Number 15, Pete Smith, kicks it off for the Golden Aces.
And then Jeffers again.
Jeffers with the football. Looks like he's got an open to the outside there and makes a nice cut.
Oh.
Gets across the 45-yard line, and a flag goes down. We'll see what this call is.
There's going to be a horse collar and nice return.
Actually, they're spotting the ball right now at about the 45, maybe 46-yard line. It is a horse collar penalty. It's kind of nice to have the referee with the sound system. They're not used to that at high school football games, but a horse collar tackle is going to give us another 15 yards. So the Cats with great field position starting at the 40-yard line.
Great job by Landon Jeffers. He gets it and he heads upfield. He finds a little seam, makes a move here and there, and really, if that guy hadn't got a hold of his back of his jersey there, he still had some space. But great starting field position. Good way for the Cats to start. Good momentum builder. And as a lot of these things are, it's all about momentum in most athletic events.
Ball actually at the 39-yard line of Mount Carmel. Give us to Hale. Nice stop right there by number 54. Coming up from his linebacker spot is Austin Rue. He's made some nice plays out there tonight, Wes.
Yeah, he has. Their linebacking corps has done a pretty good job of following in whenever we try and go up the middle.
So we'll call it a gain of 1. Ball at the 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Just opening up here in the third quarter. Aarons drops back to throw, throws a nice bullet over there to Zach Wood, and they have just really hooked up. That's his 5th catch of the ball game. Plenty for the first down. He's got that football close to the 20. Actually call it at the 21-yard line, 17 yards on the hookup. So the Cats with 1st and 10. Number 2 to number 87 on the pass play. They give it to Hale. He's got a full head of steam. Tries to spin away and actually gains about another 2 or 3 yards on that play. He's maybe about a yard into his run and earned his extra 4 to gain about 5 on that play.
Cats moving the ball.
And officially they'll call it 2nd and 6. Ball at the 16-yard line. Hale again on the ISO play up the middle. Cuts to his left this time.
Looks like we got another 4 yards.
So it's going to be, I'll call it 3rd and 2. This time they give it to Ben Moore, and he is met by the left side, or actually the right side of the defense, number 50.
Yeah, they really
gave him
blew our line back. They controlled the line of scrimmage on that one.
Yeah, so basically no gain on the play, so that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Wildcats need at least 2 to get this first down. Gabe Margellin on the stop there. So Cats early on here in the third quarter facing a 4th down situation. The penalty was thrown.
They fumbled it.
And the Cats end up fumbling the football. It's actually Ian Songer looked like he moved there.
Yeah, the back moved, and I guess.
Boy, it's just total confusion at that point. Just kind of threw things off. The referee, I mean, they looked at the ref, and he just kind of held his hand up like he wasn't going to call anything. Obviously, he didn't. So the mistiming on that play results in a stop.
Yeah, the real trouble there is we got stifled, and when we get down close and the field got shorter, we were pounding it in the middle, and there just wasn't any room there. You know, a couple 4-yard carries and then nothing, and I'm not sure what that play was going to be, but.
And regardless, it doesn't convert, and Mount Carmel with the football.
Yeah, we need a big stop here.
Give us the tailback, and Sean Flickinger, number 28. Started off at the 14-yard line. Rushes that about 5 yards to the 19. Second and 5 for Mount Carmel. 8:53 to go here in the third quarter. Mount Carmel leads at 21-14. Metcalf again gives to Flickinger. Now he's got a one-on-one situation there. A nice tackle, open field tackle by Grant Teal, but not before he gets plenty for the first down. So Mount Carmel trying to establish the run. Rushes that 10 yards to the 29. First down and 10. Metcalf with a pistol formation this time. Flickinger gets another carry. He's carried it 3 times on this drive. 3 consecutive plays, 3 runs. Gains maybe 2 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 8 from the 31-yard line. Carmel actually spreading things out a little bit more this time. Metcalf looking over to the sideline, trying to figure out what the play is. He barks his signals out there. 4 wide receivers.
Big play for the Wildcat defense. They need to keep
Flickinger gets the ball again. Nice stop over there. It's like Stallwood, I believe, made the pop on the running back.
Yeah.
So it's been 4 straight runs for Sean Flickinger, number 28. He gains 1 on that play, so we'll call it 3rd and 7. Metcalf throws it out there. He hops it. Actually, Hipschman looked like he got a hand in his face, or at least threw his target off a little bit there. I don't know if he connected with the football, but Metcalf wasn't able to complete that pass to Laws.
Well, defense did a good job of stiffening up.
The Cats should get pretty good field position here. So 4th and 7. Forcing the punt. He is going to punt it off. Left-handed thrower, but he's a right-footed kicker. Nice job by Betts there. Portland Betts to field it.
It's always the first objective.
So good job by the Wildcat defense, as Mike said there, and Jasper will start things off from the 35-yard line. So weren't able to take advantage of great field position the first time through. They fumbled on a 4th and 2 situation. So the second possession here of the second half.
Let's see if the Cats can do something here. They really need to put some actions together and make sure they're not predictable, and take it down the field and get a score, and then we're all even.
3 wide receivers. He sends more in motion.
There's 3 on that side now after the motion.
So Aarons decides to keep it there. Good coverage downfield by Mount Carmel. Actually going long was Wood, but he was picked up. Trying to see who the defensive back over on that side was. I think it was Devin Tomlinson.
Positive yards, and probably a good decision to
actually take that back. It was Daxton Peach, who the Wildcats have really been trying to target tonight, the 5'7" freshman, actually.
So up in the eye with Ben in the slot. Ben Moore, Woods split wide.
That's a good trip right there.
Number 8, the defensive tackle in the backfield.
Tony Miller making a nice play.
Back to the line of scrimmage, but now it's 3rd and long.
So no gain on the play. So Hill on the run there with no gain. And he's got 2 yards on the first run. 3rd and 8 from the 37. Aarons going to roll back to his left side. Ooh, nice break on the ball that time. Boy, Daxton Peach just doing an excellent job just attacking that football and knocking it away. So the freshman coming up big there.
He did make a nice play. It looked like there was a little space that Zach had and had his hands out to get the ball, and Daxton Peach just knocked it away.
So defenses are doing their job so far. Wildcats have had 2 possessions and not able to get any points on the board.
Looks like we had
it's only 12 seconds to go. Actually, there was a confusion on the punt team here. So Jasper's going to have to be forced to call a timeout. And again, this is just a mistake you cannot afford to make. Again, it's a 4th down. You got to have that spread punt team ready to go, and they weren't out there. So we'll take a break in the action with 5:55 to go. Mount Carmel still leads 21-14 over the Jasper Wildcats. You're watching Wildcat football on 18 WJTS.
On his punts, but
well,
it's easy to guess now when we didn't make it. It's a gutsy call, and you know we're trying to be aggressive with this young team. And
well, the play was there, and the pass was just a little bit too low. So Mount Carmel's going to have great field position in Wildcat territory at the 44-yard line. Actually, Law's now carrying the ball. They moved him to the tailback spot, just like they did when they opened up this football game. So Levi Laws aggressively gains 5 yards there. On
Bolin, number 69, is coming in on the defensive line. He's spent most of the season on the offensive line. And Boone John looks like it's pretty sure he's not going to be back tonight. He's on the sideline with a big ice pack on his knee.
Well, it looks like it's an injury to his right knee. I'm not going to speculate how serious it is just yet until we know for sure. Laws actually slips up a little bit there. We actually had a slight rain at halftime. Might have made that field just a little bit slick. So he's going to lose a yard on that play. So that'll move the ball to the 40-yard line. Mount Carmel now with a 3rd and 6. So the Cats going to have to come up with a big stop here. I'm sure it's 4-down territory for Mount Carmel at this point. Just 4:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Pitch and catch out there. Catch is made, and he looks like he's able to squeeze his way to the 1st down. That's number 35, Thomas Allen. That will move the chain, so 7-35 is successful enough for 6 yards and a 1st down. Ball now at the 34-yard line of Jasper. Mount Carmel with the football. Did get out of bounds there, so that stops the clock at 4:34. Mount Carmel still leads 21-14 in this football game.
Cats really need a turnover there.
Law still at the tailback spot. Ball pops out. Everybody dives after it, but I assume Law's got back on it or is called down. Not before he gains 4 yards on the play. Ball rests at the 30-yard line of Jasper. 2nd and 6.
One thing for sure is the Cats are growing up tonight. They're playing. Oh, nice move.
Yeah, Levi Laws, just a nice shifty move right at the line of scrimmage to be able to break free and get the ball inside the 20-yard line to the 19. So 11 yards on the tote. And Mount Carmel moving right along with a 1st and 10. Just really trying to establish things at the line of scrimmage and doing the job on this drive. Cats went forward on 4th down on the fake punt pass to Alice, but he was 1 yard short, giving Mount Carmel the football at the 44. Now it's set at the 19-yard line, 1st and 10. Laws again tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Probably gained about 2 or 3 here. Ball at about the 17-yard line, so call it a 2nd and looks like a short 8.
Ball inside the 20. You really need to get in their backfield.
They brought in Tony Miller at the fullback spot. He tries to pitch it out there to Tomlinson, but he's not able to hang on to the football.
It was a rare incomplete pass.
It's only, what is 4th of the game?
I think it's his 6th of the game. I think he's 15 for 21.
15 for 21. So that stops the clock at 2:57 here in the 3rd quarter. Mount Carmel looking to build on this 21-14 lead over the Jasper Wildcats. 3rd down and 8 from the 17-yard line.
The Cats need to be watching the ball.
Actually, Tony Miller still in the tailback
Laws
spot.
in the slot over here. They're overloaded.
There's a bullet thrown right there, not able to be handled. Boy, closely picked off by Stallwood on the deflected pass. And Metcalf just threw a rifle right there, or threw a gun.
Tried to zip it in there.
Yeah. But number 82 not able to.
Now it's fourth down. Let's see what they're going to do. Yeah. Looks like they're going to go for it.
So 4th and 8. Five wide receivers. Check out 4 wide receivers, 1 back. Miller still in the backfield. Metcalf chucks it over there, and ball gets knocked away. And boy, you could have had an argument over a pass interference possibly there, but
it's a big play and a big break, because I'm not sure I could have not thrown a flag on that, but it's all right. We needed an aggressive play, and he got there about the same time as the ball, and we don't have replay, so.
Right.
It's a good play.
Can't do a replay on a pass interference anyway. So, all right. So the Wildcats will take over on downs.
The real key there is a good aggressive attacking the ball play, and that's what we needed. Now, the Cats got to do something. They got to bring all their weapons into the game. I'd like to see them, try and get to the edge a little more, not so much up the middle, and just get to the corners as those defensive ends pinch down and try and shut out the ISOs.
Well, they're going to do that right here. But actually, nice job by Mount Carmel to cut it off, but he reverses his field. He's going the other way as Ben Moore.
Covered a lot of ground. It's going to be holding on us.
It was actually a really nice job by the defensive end, Gabe Margellin, to be able to kind of force him back to the inside, but the Cats get a hold of a defender or two, and this play will come back. It's just a matter of, you see the flag sitting there at the 19-yard line, so if they take it back there, it's going to wind up being about an 8-yard penalty overall.
10-yard penalty from the spot this time.
Yeah, from the spot.
Repeat first down.
Yeah, so that should give him a 1st and 18. Move that ball. Actually, it's right at about the 10-yard line, I believe. Scoreboard says 9. We'll take their word for it. So
it's about 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
1st and 18. Aarons runs the football this time. Maybe gain 2 or 3.
On our, he's pulling it down pretty quick. I don't know if the coverage is there or not, and we of course can't see what he sees, but a good passing game is one where the ball gets out in a hurry, and he's not been real quick to pull the trigger lately. He needs to get back into his just pulling the trigger. Of course, you're gonna have open guys when he does that.
Right. Well, he's trying to set up a wide out screen over there, and the ball falls incomplete. So
Laws was all over that.
So both teams actually struggling a little bit with their passing game right now. 3 straight incomplete passes for Metcalf. The Wildcats took over on downs, and now the Wildcats throw incomplete on that play. And like I said before, kind of quick to pull up and run on the play before that. So
we got 3rd and long, and
so 3rd and 15 from the 12-yard line.
Landon Jeffers is in there. Nick Hales looks like he's split out too.
5 wide receivers. Throws it over to Hipschman. He receives the football, but I don't think he's going to have enough for the first down. Actually, the ball pops out, but he's saying he was down.
Yeah.
They are calling him down. He made that call right away.
It's a good pitch and catch, but we needed twice that. And I know that they wanted him to try and break a tackle and get it. So now looks like we're going to punt again.
So the pass to number 7, Hipschman, actually gains about 9. So the Cats are facing 4th and 7. Aarons will punt it this time, boy, but he kind of did the rugby punt, and that ball just went end over end, straight up in the air.
Yeah, and he's really been an effective punter all year, even on the rugby punt. That one just didn't get out there like he's been getting them out.
So the Wildcats giving Mount Carmel again great field position. They'll start things off at the 34-yard line this time in Jasper territory. So Mount Carmel, too good of a football team offensively to be able to give them these great opportunities.
The field's tilted this way, and that's not the way you want it. We got to get it tilted the other way. We started the half out with some good field position and couldn't execute. We got to switch that around. Quarterback's keeping it.
Metcalf, as said, calls his own number. Gets to the outside on the right side over here, and plenty for the first down as he gets that ball inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Actually, looks like they're going to spot it. Okay, right there at the 18, so 16-yard run. First and 10 for Mount Carmel. Flicking her back in the tailback spot, number 28. Behind Metcalf. 38 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Mount Carmel still leads 21-14. He loses that football and he was dropping back. You're right. The ball just popped on the ground and luckily falls on top of it for Metcalf. Not before he loses about 2 on the play. Ball at the 20, 2nd and 12.
It's a big break, and it's going to be the end of the third quarter. No scoring. It's been a good battle on both defenses. Done a good job.
Yeah, because actually, like Bless said, Mount Carmel's had great field position on 2 possessions. Jasper had great to open the half, but neither team able to get anything on the board. So we go into the fourth quarter. Mount Carmel 21, Jasper 14. You're watching Jasper Wildcat football on 18 WJTS. Fourth quarter action here at the Snake Pit, Mount Carmel, Illinois. Mount Carmel leads this football game 21-14. The ball is resting at the 20-yard line of Jasper. Mount Carmel facing a 2nd and 12. Neither team able to put anything on the board in the third quarter.
Yeah, this one's definitely going to be determined here in the fourth. It's one score.
Metcalf keeps it again.
It's a block in the back. Middle. Oh my gosh.
Well, nothing called, so the play stands as he rumbles close to the goal line. So Metcalf, he actually faked the ball to Sean Flickinger, the tailback, and Cats were in conversion on that play and were fooled, and he went straight up the middle down to the 5-yard line, so 15-yard run. First and goal. Hand off up the middle. Cats stuff it. See where they rest this football. Looks like gain of about 2 or so.
Austin Ruxer, number 74, in on the defensive line. Got our big boys up the middle there.
Actually, Miller on the run there, Tony Miller. Bring the bend defensive lineman. Actually, Metcalf keeps it this time, dives in for the 2-yard touchdown. So Metcalf gets into the end zone to extend the Mount Carmel lead, 27-14, with 10:59 to go here in the fourth quarter. So
yeah, I mean it's tough whenever you got a short field, and I think that's the first series of downs where they started running the option where the quarterback would the read option, and he'd keep it and go up the middle. He was finding some nice room.
Line misses terribly to the right side there, so
that could be a big mess.
Yeah. So Mount Carmel
right now,
taking advantage of the errant punt by Nolan Aarons. Get the ball at the 34-yard line, and 5 plays later, they're in the end zone for the score. So Mount Carmel leads at 27-14. You're watching Jasper Wildcat football on 18 WJTS. Snake Pit here in Mount Carmel. Ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Try another bouncing kick. Cats get after it, and the ball was loose. Nobody was able to secure it, but I think the Cats did get on top of it.
Yeah, they did.
It was actually
83.
Yeah, so actually give Kyle McWilliams credit for saving the day there, number 83. So, big break for the Cats there, boy.
Yeah, we got good field position. We had a couple of them converging, and the ball bounces funny all the time. But got a good break and good field position. We really need to get a score here pretty quickly.
So Jasper will start things off on the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. They were 2 scores down, 2 touchdown scores. Aarons is looking deep, trying to find Hipschman going long, but then eventually gets brought down on the sack. And that play was made by number 50, Gabe Margellin.
Yeah, he needed to get that ball out, even if he just throws it at somebody's feet, throw where either only our guy can get it. He's got Hipschman over the middle. See, that was much better. He got it out quick while he was still in the pattern.
Yeah, so actually a nice play across the middle in the post pattern there. Gets the ball to the 45-yard line. Right. Because he had lost 6 yards on the sack. So gained 13 yards back on that play. Making a 3rd and 3. Wood, nice snag there. Got plenty for the first down. Close to midfield. I think he got right there to the 50-yard line. So he's able to dodge a would-be tackler and get enough for the first down. So number 2 to number 87, that time for 5 yards. On a 3rd and 3, so big conversion for the Cats. They got the ball at midfield.
So I like the pace of this, just the offense.
This thing, I mean, if you're going to have a pace like that, you got to be patient at the line of scrimmage, but the Cats move there and move them back 5. Wildcat passing game getting back on track a little bit here on this drive. 13-yard catch by Hipschman and a 5-yard first down catch by Zach Wood. Time to give it to Hale. Hale finds a little bit of room there on the left side. Gets to about the 49-yard line. So gain of 4. Make that 2nd and 11.
They've done a pretty good job of bottling up our running attack. That's Nick's 10th carry for 42 yards, which isn't too bad, but not what we've come to expect.
Aarons throws over to the backside. Moore catches that football, but not before number 82. Klein puts a nice hit on him. Hold him only to about a 4-yard gain. So now the Cats facing a 3rd and 8. Aarons back to throw. Throws it over there. Mount Carmel defender breaking on the ball. Nice play over there. Again, that's Klein. Yeah. Klein just made a nice move on the football to knock that thing away. So typically he's the wide receiver, but they brought him in here obviously in the 4th quarter. Situation where you can bring all your athletes onto the field.
That's big 4th down here. Need a conversion.
4th and 8. Toss over the top, and boy, it was just tipped right there. Nice job.
Nice job in defense.
Defensively by number 6. Eli Evans, the 5'10", 205-pound senior, bats that ball up in the air because it looked like Hipschman.
Looked like he was going to get a first down, and he just got his fingertips on it and got it up. That's a tough break. Good play by them.
So great pass coverage by Mount Carmel on those last 2 pass plays. And they'll take over with a 2-touchdown lead, 27-14 with 8:45 to go. They got the football at the 48-yard line.
Really need a turnover. Need a big play here by somebody. Yeah, they're gonna.
Just gonna give it.
Don't blame them. They're gonna run it up the middle and.
Just basically give it to Levi Laws. laws or
And
mix it up?
they got a big, strong offensive line. They probably the biggest we've seen. A couple guys pushing 250 and.
Yeah, you see number 77 out there. That's Noah Thompson. He's 6 foot 255.
The center they've been running over is Pavia, 6 foot 245.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're going to try and grind the clock down and just keep running it.
Levi Laws. The only thing I was thinking is because, I mean, Levi Laws is a pretty aggressive football player.
Yeah,
so
he's a good
Cats,
player.
maybe get him to, if he's not protecting the football, and try to knock that thing loose. But they're actually making a change at the tailback spot. They're bringing in their big guy, Tony Miller, number 8. Tony Miller is 6 foot 1, 220, normally on the defensive line. They do give him the football. Nice spin move for the big guy. And he's got plenty for the first down as he gets across the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. So needed just 4. And he gets way more than that.
Yeah, it's a good run by number 8. It's a big kid, big strong kid, and they're running downhill now. At this point with the lead and the clock on their side.
Yeah, 7:14 to go. Mount Carmel with a 27-14 lead as Miller pokes that thing 10 yards for the first down. The ball now sets at this 37-yard line. They get to Miller again right up the middle. Cats stop it. Pablo Santos on the stop along with number 50.
Alex Coleman.
So a short yard gain on that play. And make it 2nd and 9. The Cats absolutely. And the only thing you can do here is just basically force a turnover. They are going to throw the football. Good coverage downfield, but boy, a beautiful catch on the sideline over there.
That was a nice play.
Trying to see, I think that's
Laws, or is it
I think it's
Law?
Thomas Allen, I believe.
I think it's 38 Laws.
Oh, Laws was it? Okay. So Laws with a catch, and that may be the play that seals this football game for the Mount Carmel Golden Aces.
That was really a nice play. Coverage was there, and he just went and got it. Just took it away from our guy. It's a heck of a play.
21-yard hookup. Now they're facing a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. So Metcalf gives to Miller. He goes to the left side, but Wildcat's able to stuff it there. Looks like Bowen was able to make a pop on him. At least to force him to the inside.
Another swarm of Wildcat tacklers.
So a 1-yard gain. 2nd and goal from the 4. Mount Carmel with 5:52 clock ticking right now. Looking to add another score to this 27-14 lead that they currently have. Actually, the ball falls to the ground, but it's going to be a false start called on Mount Carmel. So Metcalf was able to get that football back. So that's going to move him back 5.
So, what Mount Carmel wants more than anything is for that clock to run.
Oh, no doubt.
It stops it. Gives the Cats a little more room, but they got the ball.
So that's going to start the clock actually right there. 5:30 to go in this football game, released in the 4th quarter, unless the Cats can somehow come up with a football and 2 scores. The Mount Carmel with a 2nd and goal from the 9 after the 5-yard penalty. Bullet thrown over there, juggled, but did he gather the football? No, it falls incomplete. Yeah, he threw a a bullet to Austin Thompson, split in, number 30. He had a score.
Slant and could pull it in. It's an ineligible receiver there. Try what happens there.
Okay, so that's going to actually push them back unless the Cats decline the penalty because, got to push them back 5 yards, but.
Did you lose it down on that?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if you lose it down or not. No, they're going to decline the penalty because they would not.
Downfield decline.
Yeah, they'll decline it. So officially the pass goes as an incomplete pass. 3rd and goal. Clock stopped at 5:12. Metcalf. He's going to keep it himself this time. Breaks to the outside. Nice play by Tate Blessinger to make that tackle. It looked like he tried to cut inside. Tate was able to wrestle him down. Gains 3 on the play. So now 4th and goal. And the thing is, their kicking game's not very good.
Yeah, it's not. And if it was, I would think they'd kick the field goal and get it out of reach of two touchdowns. But
they're going to let this clock wind down. There's 7 left on the play clock. 4:34 on the game clock.
Even if the Cats can't pull this out, they've gotten better tonight. They've come up against a good team, some really good athletes, and they needed to make some adjustments and grow up a little bit after what would be some teams that really didn't play nearly this hard. Those other teams certainly had heart and desire and competed, but this group of athletes for the Golden Aces is just not something we've seen yet.
Oh, no doubt about it. And Wildcats pretty good, put a pretty good licking on them last year, winning that game big where they scored 56 points against Mount Carmel. I'm sure they remembered that quite well. And Mount Carmel has a lot of pride in their football program. There's no doubt about it. Jasper leads this series 8-2 going into tonight's football game, but both those losses have been on this football field. One in 2011 and one in 2007. And Mount Carmel in a great position to get their 3rd win over the Jasper Wildcats since they joined the Big 8 Conference.
Yeah, the Cats need a big stop here and then a quick score, and you never know what can happen.
So Mount Carmel's going to go for it here on 4th down. 4th and goal from the 6-yard line.
Need hands up on the passes. I got a feeling they're going to try and get it to number 8.
They're actually going to throw a little lob out there. Ooh. Ball's not able to haul it in, so the Cats have some life here, Bless.
They do, and we certainly have a passing game. We got some weapons. We got to use them. We got to mix it up and get some big chunks of yardage here.
Okay, so there's time on the clock here. It's just going to have to be up and down the field. However, Mount Carmel defense has been very solid here in the second half. Cats have not put anything on the board yet. Mount Carmel with just 1 score. Lead this football game 27-14. So Jasper with 4:25 to go. It's going to have to get something going.
Yeah, they need to march down the field here pretty quick in a couple minutes. And
they got 94 yards to go. It's a quick pitch and catch right there to Zach Wood.
Should have got out of bounds. It's a nice catch, but again, it was a quick hitter. He got it out right away and did a nice gain. And it would have been nice if Zach would have just got out of bounds though and stopped that clock. But that's those are some of those things you learn in games like this too.
Gets that ball actually to the 15-yard line. A quick toss out there.
Landon Jeffers, I think, or Beckman, number 8 or number 6.
That was number 6.
It's Landon Jeffers. He's been pretty active tonight. Got the kickoff returns, and he's been on the field on offense.
That's enough.
Cody Jacobs is out there, split wide left as well.
5-yard pass play moves the chains. Wildcats 1st and 10 from the 20 now. Ooh, boy, Aaron's going to pop there, but immediately Zach Wood runs out of bounds.
Got Grant Teal playing a little offense in the slot receiver.
So the Cats working the clock. 3:47 to go. They trail 27-14. Pass play goes for about 9 yards.
It's like we're going with a quicker set of receivers with this group with Jacobs, Jeffers, Teal.
He throws Jacobs that time.
Cody.
He got it to the 35-yard line. So gain of about 6 on the play. So it's perfect so far on this drive. Herons. There's a strike here and it's picked off. So that should seal it. Thomas Allen, who's had a big football game tonight offensively and now defensively with a nice play there to pick that pass off, and that's pretty well going to seal it for Mount Carmel at this point.
Yeah, it's a nice defensive play, and he just stepped in front of it and took it.
So he returns the football to the 29-yard line. And Mount Carmel with just 3:15 to go. All has to do is just, well, of course, with 2 touchdown lead. 27-14 is the score. That's pretty well game clincher there, boss.
Yeah, it's going to be, unless something really strange happens here.
Actually, Mount Carmel's going to call a quick timeout. So we'll take a timeout in the action. So Jasper trails Mount Carmel 27-14. 3:15 left here in the fourth quarter. You're watching Jasper Wildcat football on 18 WJTS. And the lead, 27-14. 3:15 to go. They give it to their big, well, I'm going to call their monster back, Tony Miller. And boy, he is just determined. I think he wants to get in the end zone. He aggressively rushes that football.
Yeah, they're just trying to manhandle Jasper now, and the Cats need to buck up and hit him in the mouth. That's what they need to do right here. I mean, figuratively. I don't want them to swing at anybody, but they need to, prove that they're not going to get pushed around.
I'm actually going to measure here. He stops the clock at 3:06 to go. But, the Wildcats just not able to get in the end zone and get much offense going here in the second half.
The offense looked pretty solid there in the first half, but just couldn't get anything here in the second.
So he is short. So the ball actually, we'll call it at the 19, but it's going to be second and inches.
It was a big crowd from Mount Carmel. Saw a team play hard and get a big win for them.
And like we said, it's pretty well going to put them in the driver's seat to win the conference this year. So they got games next week. They're on the road at Vincennes. Then they play at home against Boonville and finish up against Mount Vernon, Illinois, which is not a conference team. So just 2 conference games left in the season. So Levi Laws with the run is going to move the chains again. 2 yards on the play, just needed a couple inches. So now it's just a matter of time. 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go.
As the ball pops up in the air and we run it back for a touchdown, it's going to be tough.
Yep. Cats did get possession of the football after they were able to keep Mount Carmel out of the end zone. Laws this time, he just kind of prances up the middle there and gets inside the 10. And you know they're not going to take a knee.
Now, this is a tough place to play. Just the environment is unique, and the accommodations for the visiting team are strange. Even the benches, there's not enough bench space for a team to sit down and have a good conference. And
right.
You have to overcome that stuff and play maybe a little bit better than would be equal.
Right.
And the Cats just didn't didn't overcome those things in a very determined Golden Aces team tonight.
Walls gets the football. Does not get into the end zone. He needs 7 yards on 1st and goal there.
A minute and a half to go.
Running, yep. Minute 25. Like I said, I'm real curious. They're not going to take a minute. They'll run this down, actually.
It'll be about a minute when they snap this one.
That's actually the thing. It's
fumble.
2nd and goal.
Fumble the ball.
But I think Metcalf does come back up with it. So to bring up 3rd and goal.
Cats are still fighting. Of course they are too. So.
And that's the thing. I mean, they can run this thing down to inside the 20, take a knee, and then the game's over. So we'll see if they do. Ball still sits at the 5-yard line. 3rd and goal from there.
You know, the thing about the Golden Aces that the Cats haven't seen is, you know, we've seen some good athletes and good backs, but we just haven't seen this kind of depth of athletes. And it's a big challenge. And, you know, hopefully the Cats grew up a little bit and learned something and got better from it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the Wildcats started off with the football with great field position. They were actually on the Mount Carmel 39-yard line on their first possession to start the second half. At that point, they were trailing 21-14 right after halftime. And we're moving right down, moved the ball down to the 13-yard line, faced a 4th and 2, and fumbled the football there. And so Mount Carmel took over from there. And defensively, the Wildcats got a nice stop on Mount Carmel's initial drive. And then Jasper got the football back. And again, was not able to score. They actually had that situation where they were facing a 4th and 8 from the 37-yard line, from their own 37-yard line, and he threw that pass play on 4th down on a fake punt to Alice, but he only gained 7 yards when they needed to get 8, and that gave Mount Carmel great field position there, although they weren't able to score that time. 3 incomplete passes stopped that drive for Mount Carmel, and then Jasper got the ball back. And we're basically 3 and out. A holding penalty pushed him back a little bit there, but then Mount Carmel, after a 13-yard punt by Aarons from his 20, the Cats had the football at the 21-yard line and only went 13 yards, so they had great field position at that point. And you know, it's just a situation where you give them great field position, and it became a field position game here in the second half. And you know, they had the ball at the 34-yard line, and you know, 5 plays later, you had Metcalf taking it in from 7 yards out to give them that 27-14 lead, and that's where we finish.
It's field position and momentum, and we had good momentum coming out. We drove it down there, and then they stopped us, and then all of a sudden the field tilts, and what should have been, you know, we've been playing downhill on our side. It shifts. Defense holds pretty good. You know, 2 key 4th downs is whenever we went for it, and that pass came up short, and then a bad kick by Nolan Aarons, which, you know, that's the first one. He's usually booming them nearly 50 yards, and just didn't get that one, and it just kept the tough pressure in a short field for the Golden Aces. And you know, they're pretty happy about what they accomplished tonight, and they should be. You know, they worked hard and beat a good Jasper team that certainly wasn't laying over for them and was fighting every step of the way. So,
well, you know, they circle this football game every year when the season schedule comes out, and you know, so it's. And, you know, let's face it, I mean, the Big 8 Conference, there's some teams that are down this year, and so, you know, it's been kind of a smooth sailing for both these teams getting to this particular point. So it's really that clash between the Wildcats and Mount Carmel that both these teams look forward to win the conference. And, you know, the Cats pulled it off last year with a big 56-22 win over Mount Carmel, and then, you know, Mount Carmel was just a little bit stronger than the Cats tonight.
Yeah, they were, and it shows on the stat sheets. They had 27 first downs compared to, 22 first downs to our 16. Held us to 118 yards rushing, and we did have 211 yards passing. Total offense of 329 compared to 400 for them.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're just not going to win many football games when you give up 400 yards, especially against a team that's solid. And, you know, with as many offensive weapons, we've talked about that pretty well this whole football game. I mean, not only Reese Metcalf, but Levi Laws is an outstanding football player. I mean, look at his numbers. He's got, 60 yards rushing on 15 carries. And then he also had 5 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown there. I mean, Reese Metcalf, he just really proved himself as being, one of the best quarterbacks, well, I'm going to say in the state of Illinois, but, obviously faces a lot of Indiana teams too, but, 16 of 26 for 240 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he also ran for a touchdown too. So.
Yeah, and a real key there too is no interceptions, and they didn't have any turnovers, and we did, and that certainly hurt us. Yeah, he looked, Metcalf just looked poised. He just looked very comfortable pretty much all night, and the Cats defense needed to disrupt that and make it uncomfortable for him, and we just couldn't seem to do it often enough.
So Mount Carmel now 6-0 on the season. They'll move on to play Vincennes Lincoln next week on the road, and the Jasper Wildcats will have to rebound. They now stand at 6-1, and they will play at Washington next week. So we'll wrap things up here from the Snake Pit. You're watching Jasper Wildcat football on 18 WJTS. For Mike Blessinger and